Alright everybody, welcome to Thinking Outside the Pod. I'm Fisher, and today I am joined by...
Jimmy.
Alright, yeah, today it's going to be kind of just a mess of stuff because we're
freestyling.
Yeah, because unfortunately stuff going on at work and didn't have much time to look up stuff. Procrastination and laziness, so yeah, we're just going to be kind of just bullshitting here.
We're pulling from our hearts here, people. No paper needed.
Alright, if that's what you want to call it, or we could just call it bullshitting, like, you know, we're not going to lie to you here. But yeah, I guess really the only big thing that I noticed this week from the news and stuff is new iPhone 6 coming out next week.
Yeah, and I watched a bit of that press conference because it was just on here, because I'm not an Apple person.
I'm not either. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it sounds cool, but
I don't really know exactly. I know the phone is bigger and probably has more features or whatever, but this watch came out too, so I don't know. I'm not much of a watch person anyway. So.
I'm not either. You know, I think it's a nifty idea. I mean, but it's one of those of, you know, I don't need a watch. I just pull out my phone and check the time and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it sounds cool to be able to get your text and stuff like that, but you know. I mean, does it just help you, you know, I'm curious, does it only help you read text? I mean, because, I don't think you'd want to text on your watch.
It's not that big. I mean, a watch face normally isn't big, and it's not much bigger than a normal watch face. The only thing that I would use it for is for notifications, like, oh, I got a text, and I can see maybe who it's from, and then if it's someone I want to read that text from, I can pull out my phone and read it. But even then, I'm just like,
I guess.
I don't get much text or really that many notifications, so I don't mind pulling out my phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those, you just leave it on vibrate, and your phone already tells you when you get a notification. It's like, why do you need another device to go, hey, you got, both of them now go off. Like, great, all right, now I have two things that are vibrating instead of just one. I guess, apparently those things are all the rage now. I mean, I guess.
There's been some smart watches like out already, like the Pebble, and like I know Samsung
had one, yeah.
And I'm like, it'd be too small. And like on the press conference it was saying like you can do all this like weird things like share your heartbeat. I'm like, those are just gimmicks. Like there's no real practical stuff for it. And plus everything's text will be too small on that to really do anything of use, like, I want to read the news on my little watch when I have a phone or a tablet.
Go to a computer screen. Yeah. That's what I do. If I'm going to look something up, I'm like, let's go to my desktop.
Or watch the news. I don't know.
Yeah, you can watch us.
But, stream it on our website.
Yeah.
Watch San Antonio news.
Yeah, there we go. Let's turn our website to a news site, I guess.
There you go.
Let's take all the content from our work site. Like, all right, there we go.
Just do some type of
done. Links to all of our work website.
Yeah, and iPhones themselves, I've never had Macs, so I've always just been under the PC stuff. So I've never wanted an iPhone. Whenever they were first out, I was like, that's pretty cool. But I was like in love with my Razr, I think at the time, my little Razr flip phone.
The flip phone, I think I had one of those too.
Yeah, everybody.
I was like, that thing was so cool.
And I know, I freaking loved it. And then like one day the screen finally went out, so I was like, I better upgrade to a smartphone.
I can't remember what happened to mine. I think I finally just decided, I was like, all right, this is cool. It was cool. Still is cool, but yeah, let me get a smartphone.
Yeah, my screen worked if you just opened it like halfway. So I could like look and see like what, like if someone's like who's calling me, and then I can open it up and it'll just go out. So then I kind of went to like smartphones that had like actual keyboards because I like the keyboard stuff. And then my first one was like one of the Droids, one of my first actual smart touchscrine phones.
My first smartphone was with the Motorola Atrix, I think is what I got first.
Sounds familiar.
And then I upgraded to the Galaxy S4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I.
And of course, I get the Galaxy S4, and then a couple months later, the Galaxy S5 comes out. Damn it! And then, well, all right, whatever. I've got this. Yeah, I'm like,
and S5. It has the fingerprint scanner thing, and it's probably quicker, and maybe batteries are different, but I'm fine with the S4.
Yeah,
it does everything I need it to do. The little stuff I do on it.
Pretty much the only smart thing I do is play, Candy Crush and GPS. That's about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I sometimes check emails and stuff if I don't want to go onto my computer. I mean, it's a nice little. I guess it's kind of like a tablet where it's like for me, it's a just like a tool, so I don't have to use my computer. If, you know, if I get to a Wi-Fi network, I mean, it's nice on the go to have like access to the internet and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I'm waiting for something, that's when I pull out my phone and we'll just waste time on it. There's not really any productive stuff I do on there. I'm doing fantasy football, so sometimes I can make changes on my lineup for that week. But
Sure.
other than that, it's all just stuff to get me through boring times.
Yeah. Well, actually, another thing that I thought of is like comparing shopping. Like when you go to a physical store, I'm probably one of those people that hate.
Yeah,
like
salesman hate. Yep.
Is it, you know?
I forgot what they called it. There's actual name for it for people that go when you're shopping and use their phone to like compare prices and things like that, or just get information from the salesman and then go home and buy it online.
Yeah.
There's some specific name. I used to work at an electronics store, and they hated those kind of people. Well, they didn't like them, obviously, because it's money out of their pockets. Plus, if they're giving information to them, it's like, I'm not a free advice person. I want to get paid for this.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a salesman, so I was in the service department, so I was just like, just don't call angry at me. That's all I care about.
Well, because like looking at that, what kind of caught me off guard was I was trying to get a Java textbook so I can start learning how to program a little bit, and I was looking to get it at Barnes and Noble. And I saw it online for like I think like $30 or something like that. And I go to the store and they're like, market price is like $50. And I asked them, I took up to the counter and they're like, oh, $50 for it. I was like, wait, I was like, online it's like $30. And they're like, no, unfortunately in the store we have to charge the market price, and it's different online. I'm like, I didn't need it right away, so I'm like, I'm not going to waste $20 on it.
Oh my gosh, textbooks was ridiculous online and at the stores.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, man, online it's $20 cheaper, and the only difference is I just have to wait for it in shipping. It's like, I don't need it right away. And then unfortunately, since now I have to go online, now it's like, now I have time to look up more textbooks. So it's like, I may not even get that one anymore now that, I was close to buying it, but I was like, I'm not paying $20 more for
the same thing, just for time. I mean,
like why? I mean, unfortunately, I was surprised. I couldn't believe that. Most have you ever been to Fry's?
Sounds familiar. I don't think
it's an electronics store. I think there used to be one in San Antonio a while ago, but there's not any in San Antonio anymore. But it's a real cool, kind of like a Best Buy and like, do you remember Comp USA?
Yes.
Kind of like a mixture of those two. There's a really cool store. There's a couple in Houston when I lived back there. I used to go to all the time. But yeah, they're really good. They're on we'll match our internet prices and stuff like that. They'll make like competitive prices. And stuff.
The same thing happened, I think, at except no, not online dealers, but like if you brought at the place where I used to work, if you brought in a advertisement for the same model TV or something, and it was an actual legitimate dealer of that, then we would match it too. But like online, you just really can't compete with it, because I mean you're cutting out probably a lot of middlemen, I guess.
Yeah.
That just up the price little by little, and then.
Yeah, that's one thing I could never figure out. Yeah, I could never figure out why internet prices are so much lower. I mean, unfortunately now you have to wait for shipping or whatever, but it's like, unless it's something you need absolutely right away, I mean, it's like there's no point in paying more money for something in a physical store as opposed to just buying it online.
Exactly. Yeah, Amazon is like my home away from home. Anytime I want something, I just check on Amazon. I've even bought shoes on there just because I was just like, I don't need shoes right away, but I could use some shoes probably later.
I mean, it's surprising what you find. Amazon's got like everything nowadays. I mean, it's surprising. I mean, they definitely. I remember a couple of years when they're still, kind of growing. It's like, God, now they're huge. I mean, it's like hell. Yeah,
it started out with just books, and now it's everything. Pretty much everything all the equipment I have for this podcast right now is all from Amazon.
I was gonna say, I mean, for me, it's like, if I'm looking for something, I'll check at Amazon, and if it's computer parts, I'll usually look at like Newegg, and then because that's also, if you're ever looking to buy computer parts, Newegg is a really good site.
Yeah, I've been on there before too.
Those are usually the two sites that I look up for buying everything. I mean, that's about it. I mean, there's not too many other stores that.
I haven't been to like a Best Buy or like any electronic store, and like I went to Office Depot or Office Max, one of them, recently to get some notebooks that I needed quickly, but if I didn't need them, I mean, I would have just.
Oh, that's something. I'd still go to the store, like for something like that. I'm like,
going places. That's my
Oh.
problem. I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. When I'm not working, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, for me, if I
Small
like
stuff, I
for
guess.
like video games and stuff, generally I'll still go to like a Best Buy or something and buy them if I want a physical copy.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you can just download all the games and stuff, which for computer I'm fine with that. I'm like I'd rather just download it, but for like console games I still like to have the
The
physical
actual disc.
CD.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Some of the retro games that I've purchased. I mean, you can only really purchase them online, but for the newer things. Not that I've bought anything recently, but I just GameStop it up and just get it right then so I can. Because if I pick a game, how I used to be, if I wanted to play a game, I just wanted to play it right then and there. I didn't want to really order it unless it was a game I was just not really excited about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really buy it anyway. It's got to be a really good game for me to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I guess since we're already on the topic of games,
Yeah.
accidental segue there. Yeah, Destiny, big game came out this
Destiny,
week.
I saw a commercial for it.
I know, yeah, they're definitely. It's like, man, they're advertising it. I mean, it's Bungie, the guys who made Halo, and definitely, I was playing that since launch day, and it's like, yeah, no, it's definitely. You can tell it's made by the guys who did Halo. I mean, there's a lot of stuff where you're like, yeah, this is.
The mechanics are similar.
I mean, there's like the enemy types are. You can tell that like, okay, that's similar to some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. You're like, yeah, this is definitely the guys who made Halo. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm curious to see, like, they say they have all these big plans for the game, and I'm curious to see how they add on to it, because there's definitely a lot of stuff where I'm like, I'd like him to add, because, I mean, it's kind of a weird hybrid, like, first-person shooter, kind of an MMO, like, they have competitive, PvP, PvE, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's a little repetitive, but for me, I like grinding and stuff like that. So for me, I'm like, okay, fine. I just go around and keep shooting, level 2 guys, whatever. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that's what last podcast. It was just me and Patrick. We talked about grinding. We talked about how he plays Pokemon and how I play Pokemon. I'm like, I don't even attempt anybody that I'm not like crazy amount of levels ahead of. And he's like, nope. I'm like, if I'm like 3 below that person, I go for it. I'm like, oh my god, you're crazy.
Yeah, because for me, it's like games like Destiny, any other RPGs and stuff like that, I'm like, I will do all the missions. I'm like, I want that fancy stick. Whether or not I'm going to use the stick, I don't know. I'm probably just going to sell it, but I want that fancy stick. I don't know why. I just want it. And for me, like, that's why games like that, that's why I play them, because it's like, you get 70 hours and just dicking around, getting useless equipment, and you just sell it or whatever.
Yeah. I guess to me, it kind of feels like you're kind of like cheating, not really cheating, but like you're like going around the system, oh, game developers, you thought that was going to be hard. I walked around this patch of grass for like 30 days, like a month, and just stomped everything.
Well, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, though, you look, you're like, haha, I got one over any game developers, but then you're like, oh crap, I just wasted 30 hours of this one little area, so you're like, oh, damn it, no, they got me in the end. They got me to play their game longer.
It's
you're like,
true.
damn it.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But as far as Destiny, what is it? I haven't seen any real game. I saw that commercial, really, and haven't really seen much of the gameplay. So you're a character, and you can like level up that character, different paths and whatnot. You were saying
kind of like it's pretty much like there's 3 different classes. There's one with Titan, which is kind of like more of your assault class or whatever. There's Warlock, which I haven't figured out what exactly. I haven't played it, so I'm like, I have no. I guess kind of like wizards, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've seen them shooting weird bolts and stuff like that. I don't exactly know what they do. I mean, all I see is big giant blue orb comes towards me and I blow up. I mean, that's all I've seen. Yeah. And then you have what is it, like Hunter or something like that, which is more of like your rogue, like your stealth and stuff like that.
So it's got like the 3 main like basic
pretty much
types.
Yeah. And then as far as I can tell, it looks like each class, like once you get up to level 15, if you decide to go to, like there's like for like the Titans, I have like the standard one, which is more of like your melee and stuff like that. Like they have more melee abilities, and then the other class is more of like you still have melee abilities, but then you get like more armor. Like you become more of a tank. So I can choose to either be super fast running, punching people, or I can be like super tank and help defend people.
Yeah. So there's like skill trees for each one of the classes.
Kinda. Yeah. Like there's as far as I know, there's only 2. I mean, I hope they expand it to more as they go along. That would definitely be awesome, because I'd love to see, because I mean, Bungie keeps saying this is supposed to be a long, drawn out game. I mean, that's one of the first things I'd love to see. It's like, okay, now let's add either more subclasses to Titans, or to all of them, or we add new classes completely. I definitely see that's probably something they'll add.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more game types other than because like one of the major complaints about the game is it's like basically like you have like plants and stuff like that, and then like it's all one big giant map, and then each time you start a different mission, you may start in a different area, but it's basically you kind of walk through some of the same areas and stuff like that, and it's a lot of go from point A to point B, you shoot a couple guys in between, some story stuff, and you go point B to point C and shoot more stuff. I mean, it's a whole lot of going from point A to point B shooting stuff. I mean, it's rinse, repeat.
So it's kind of linear, so it's not open world, or it's or...
It depends. If you do a mission, like a story mission, it's linear. It's go point A to point B. I mean, you can still walk around, but I mean, other than shooting guys, there's not much to accomplish other than going from point A to point B. Then there's also missions where you can kind of like it'll pretty much you'll have access to like the entire map and stuff like that, and then you'll find like little submissions throughout the map, and you can kind of explore and find stuff like that's like I guess you find materials, which I haven't quite figured out exactly what they do. I was trying to look it up earlier today. I guess you use it for I guess that's the currency for upgrading materials. I don't know. I've just been upgrading all my stuff, and I just magically happen to have all the stuff to upgrade. So I never quite actually looked at what I was using to upgrade my equipment. But yeah, I mean, I still haven't quite figured out everything in the game yet, because I mean,
it's how old is it? It's just like
a week
old.
It came out last Tuesday. Yeah, so it's not even a week yet.
So still a bunch to.
Well, because for me, like what I tried is normally like a game like that, because I ended up getting the collector's edition, but I got the digital one. Normally for collector's edition, I'd get the physical copy, but I was like, I didn't want to spend $10 more and have to wait for it in the mail for, just the iron case. I was like, I'll just get the digital one, and what was different is I haven't really ever pre-ordered a new game. Like I've bought games online, but I've never pre-ordered one before. And what was pretty cool about that process is on my PlayStation 4, I had already downloaded it like on the weekend before it came out. So I mean, I bought it, and then the Friday before, they allowed you to pre-install it. You just couldn't access it. And so then it didn't unlock until like that Tuesday morning at like 2 in the morning or whatever. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, that I was like, that's cool. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize, you could do that. I mean, I was aware of it, but I'd never tried it before. And I was like, man, that's actually pretty cool.
I've never heard of that before. Yeah, I've always, whenever pre-order a game, it's like GameStop. Like I go in there and buy something that, hey, do you want to pre-order blah blah? I'm like, man, why not?
I have pre-ordered plenty of games before. It's one of those for me. Generally, I unless it's like a title that I'm like, I know I want to play day one, which is it's like actually since I've been working, I actually had money to spend on it. That's actually been a lot more than it used to be, because it used to be very few games that I pre-order, but now it's like plus they give you the little extra incentives and stuff like that, which for me generally I don't care about that stuff. I mean, if it's a game that I'm already going to buy, then I'm like, okay, that's fine, and then I'm like, great, that's a little bit extra crap that I'm going to get. I mean, I was going to buy the game anyway. I mean, whether or not it came with it, so it's like, all right, that's great. But yeah, because I mean, I got a little bit of stuff for Destiny. I mean, it's just like a little skin for my little robot, companion. I got like a fancy ship, and as unfortunately, I had access to some earlier gear. Like I got access to it earlier, but by the time I didn't realize I'd never had access to it, like it was already useless to me. So I was like, oh damn it. I was like, oh no, I had this equipment which is like, would have helped out if I would have noticed it earlier.
It would have been much easier.
I'm like, oh man.
Armor or whatever it was.
Well, but the game's pretty good at when enemies drop random stuff, even if they're like level 2 and you're like level 14 or whatever I am, they'll still drop like stuff that's equivalent to your level.
Yeah, you were talking about that. That's good, because a lot of times it's like it doesn't scale up as good in most games, so that's good.
Because I mean, I've been surprised. I mean, it's like unfortunately like some of the like they have like raid missions and stuff like like that, which is like you're forced into a team of 3, because generally you don't have to team up with people. You can team up with people if you want. I haven't quite figured out how communication's supposed to work, because I from what I could tell, it looks like unless you're in a team, you can't talk to other players, which is kind of weird for. But if you want to have teamwork, I would think you need some way to communicate with them, and voice chat is really about all you have. But the only time I've ever heard anybody in voice chat was like the one mission that I teamed up with somebody. I heard them kind of talk on their mic, and I think once they realized I didn't have a mic to talk back, they just didn't talk anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those of I hope they integrate more chat functionality, because I mean, there's like a little social world, but I haven't seen any way to really socially interact with it than some generic gestures.
Yeah.
Like earlier today when I was playing, like I don't know how they got out there, but like somebody spawned in a ball or something like that, and we had like 4 of us were sitting there chasing after the ball, just kicking it around and stuff. I mean, like I never saw it before, so I'm like, I have no idea what this thing is. I don't know if this is like a quest item, something somebody found or what. But I mean, it was just randomly there. And,
And is it first person, or is it over the shoulder? Or?
Well, when you're in the social world, it's third person. I mean, and that's just like you talk to people, and they give you you turn in like quest items and stuff like that. That's really like, and there's other players walking around, but there's really, as of right now, there's not too many ways to interact with them. But when you're actually playing the game, doing the missions, it is first person shooter.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
So I mean, it's definitely like I see a lot of potential. Like, I can definitely see why some people may not like it, because it is really repetitive, and it's, unless you like first-person shooters and stuff like that. I mean, generally, I'm not, like, I don't like Call of Duties and stuff like that. I think those are kind of boring. I did like Halo and stuff like that. I like more of the action-oriented ones, and, it's one of those, if there's plenty of stuff for me to, to just run around and shoot, and for me, I'm like, yeah, great, I get, like, since they add the RPG elements and stuff like that, that makes it infinitely more interesting because I love level grinding. So it's like, I love doing missions. I love
upgrading items and skills and stuff. Yeah, the same thing here.
So I love seeing that bar go up. I'm like, I don't know what I get after I level this bar up, but I'm curious.
I want that bar up.
And then what I hate is when you finally level up, and then you're like, oh, damn it, there's a whole other bar. You're like, oh, that bar takes 4 times longer to level up. All right, let's get going.
Might as well do it.
I don't know what I get for doing this, but we'll see what happens when it goes up.
Yeah, the Call of Duty and stuff I never was really a fan of. It was, I guess, whenever I reasoned it with people, it was like I thought it was too realistic. Like Halo was kind of like sci-fi, so I was like, that's cool. Like I get to kill aliens and weird deformed things. But Call of Duty, I was just like, and plus it like I got killed too. I was never really good at them. Yeah. I'd play around with my friends and things like that. But Call of Duty, I just died real quickly. I'm like, I want a needler or something that I can, like, it's just a weird gun.
Well, that's like for me. I don't play PvP in first-person shooters that much, because for me it's just like, yeah, like you said, I'm not really good at first-person shooters, so I play more of like RPGs and real-time strategies and stuff like that, like MOBAs and stuff like that. Like I don't play first-person shooters all the time. Yeah. So I mean, like I'm kind of competent, but it's like there's a lot of times where I'm like, wait, I shot him, he shot me less. Why did I die before he did? There's a lot of times where I'm confused. Yeah. And it's like I'm like, did he hit different places than I did? Like, I don't know. It's like, does my aiming suck? I mean, I can never quite figure it out. It's one of those,
like, the spawning never really worked that well at times. Like, that one of my friends just will not play, like, whenever Halo, like, 3, I guess, was around, he would just not play because, like, spawning, like, was terrible. Like, people would, like, spawn right behind him and things like that. And it was just always happened to him, and he's like, nope, not playing this anymore. I hate this game.
That's just bad luck.
He gets angry. It's pretty funny playing with him. But yeah, he just wouldn't play because just those little things that just keep getting at you. So, but yeah, the RPG elements, like in like Skyrim and Mass Effect, I love getting like the new weapons and upgrading them and going like leveling up and getting skills and things like that, and in Skyrim buying houses and decorating them, and like having like one chest that's just for like jewels and things like that. So that kind of stuff, it's just.
I mean, for me in Skyrim, I was trying to keep organized, and at the end I just said fuck it and put everything all in one chest. So I was like, all right, now I have to spend 4 hours trying to find that one. I'm like, oh damn it, I need that one little item, and I have to go then you accidentally like empty your entire chest into your inventory, and you're like, oh, son of a bitch, or you do backwards, you're like, damn it, now I have to get all my inventory out. I have to remember what the hell I had in my inventory. I had that happen a few times. But
Yes, and
I'd love to continue that save file, but I lost it on one of my solid state drives died. I don't think I ever saved it to the cloud. I don't know. I haven't tried yet.
Yeah, I hate that. Is the worst feeling. That happened with Dragon Age for me. I stopped playing it, and I lost the file, and then I started over. I was like, oh, I'll just pick a new class and just start again. But it was the same missions. So you're just a different class now. So I was like, So
well, for me, if I hadn't put so much time, I'm like, I don't want to have to reinvest all that time again. And it's like, it takes so long.
Especially for grinders.
Yeah, because for me, I was like, I was doing all the side missions and stuff like that. I was like, it's like I had my persona going, and I was like, I don't want to try to recreate
like
it.
as many side missions as I could before I even like saw my first dragon or did that first.
Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, because the first dragon mission, I was like, I'm like level 20. I'm like, suck it, dragon. I'm like 2 arrows and it dies. They're like, oh, well, there you go. You're like, I had maxed out like bow and stuff like that. You're like, I mean, it's that shows you. That's the grinder mentality. You're like, oh, first mission. You're like, your character's like, oh, hey, this first story mission's 2 inches away from you. You're like, nope, I'm going this way.
Go backwards.
Which makes me laugh because it's like I wonder if I think some more. I'm curious how it would curb it if more games actually put like time frames and stuff on it. That'd be interesting. I would like it because it's like I'm forced to go down this path. You're like, no.
It would make it more challenging because I mean, you look at like Patrick playing Pokemon, and he doesn't grind at all. He just, I guess he probably has to a little bit, but he doesn't, and he's always just like frustrated, and he's like, my blah blah blah, he killed this one and this one. I'm like, I've never like not used like my starter Pokemon like full level to kill everything.
Well, I was gonna say for me, I'm like, he's sitting there having a hard time. I'm like, throw out my first one. I always plan it out. I'm like, I already know what they have because I've played enough games, and sometimes I'll cheat and look it up, and I'm like, oh hey, here's the one guy that will kill everything, and just go, haha, suck it. I'm 20 levels higher than you. It's like, you can't do nothing now.
Yeah. So it's always I don't know how I'd play like an RPG like just without grinding. Like it's just it'd be so foreign to me just to be like, okay, I beat this one mission. Like instead of going to those side missions, I'm going to go to the next story mission. I don't want to do that.
Oh, see, it's like thinking of that. I hate games where they truncate you because I actually remember Final Fantasy 13. On the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox. Like that one, that drove me nuts. I mean, like I wanted to like the game, but for me, like the grinding element, like it stopped you. Like it literally, like you'd level up to a certain point and then it stopped you. And you're like
you have to go like the next story mission.
Yeah, and I have to keep
unlock the rest of the.
Because unfortunately, the game was extremely linear in the first place. But it's just like me, I'm like I still run around in circles a little bit, just killing stuff to level up, and then I'm like. Because what ticked me off the most was literally like you couldn't even get to the max level cap until after you beat the game, and then it's like I was like, oh come on, I was like, oh no, I was like, well because it's one of those. I spent a lot of time on. I spent way more time in that game than I should have. Like I did all the trophies or whatever on PlayStation because I was like, why not? And I was like, unfortunately, that's like I said, a lot of the interesting content was after you beat the game, which I hate. Yeah. How some games do that. It's like, no, I don't want all the fun content after I beat the game. I want it while I'm playing the game. But
Final Fantasy. I never played any of them. There was on PlayStation. I think PlayStation 1, like the first generation of it. Pizza Hut had like this giveaway for like a PlayStation like sampler disc, and there was one Final Fantasy game on that. That's the only one I've ever played, other than the first one on NES.
NES.
I played that a lot and then I stopped playing it, but
I played them all. The ones that I've beaten: 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. I did 12 and then 13.
Wow, that is.
I was actually going to try to go through and beat them all, but I kind of got stuck on 3. And like 6, the unfortunate thing is there's a part where if you play and then stop, it's hard to figure out what the hell you've done and where you need to go. I mean, it's one of those. I always had a hard time. Like I'd always get to that point, and then something would happen, and then I try to go back and play it, and I go, I have no idea where the hell I'm supposed to go anymore.
Oh, no.
And it's like, I don't want to sit there and go to every single town talking to everybody, trying to figure out what the hell I need to do.
Yeah, that's the same thing that kind of happened to me with that first Final Fantasy. It's ridiculous how, like, simplistic it is, but there is a lot of, you have to go, like, here, and here, get this cup or something, and then you have to go back.
You go all the way back to the beginning.
And there's not really, just because it's so simple, there's not really any, like mission logs or something that you can be like, okay, who did I have to give that cup to? Who wanted the cup? And then you have to go through it and...
Oh, I had to look up how to beat the first one because I was like, where the hell am I supposed to go now? And they're like, oh, you're supposed to go all the way back to like the beginning of the game? You're like, oh, yeah, I'm totally... how the hell am I supposed to know that?
Yeah,
you know?
So once I got to a point where I was just like, where I stopped playing and going back, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever go back because it's just... I don't know, probably not. Judging how I am right now about games, I'm probably never going to go back to it. And same with Skyrim, which is unfortunate because I really liked it.
Yeah.
I tried going back and I was like, and then I died really quickly and I'm like, oh, dang it. And then what mission was I going to do? I guess I can just pick a random side mission. Then I was just like, eh. And then my Xbox like froze and I'm like, dang it. I'm like, all right, go back to Netflix, watch some Star Trek.
Yeah, to go back to YouTube, I'll watch other people play games so I don't have to play them.
I'm kind of not as much as like what you're into as far as watching people play games, but a lot of YouTubers like do some like highlight kind of montage things of what they like, some funny things they do in games.
Yeah,
I watch those like Scene Anners, Mr. Sark. They kind of play
I've heard
like
of Mr. Sark, but
they play like Gmod murder and Gmod prop hunt and things like that. And they're pretty funny, and I watch them. But
that's pretty much what I watch. Like some of those channels I watch, they have more of like a continued story, or they're like, okay, we're gonna build like a space factory or something like that, and they'll, like in Minecraft, and they'll.
Or like the Let's Plays, like, and it gets up to like part 50 and things like that.
On occasion, I watch a few. Because one that I found sounds like something that you were talking about, like was it Vanos Gaming? Like they do.
Sounds familiar.
They do a couple of videos like that where it's like they'll do just random shit in Grand Theft Auto or random stuff and prop hunt and that kind of stuff. But they like go through and they edit their videos really well. It's I saw a few videos, but I never really caught on, and then I don't remember how I found their channel, but I started watching more of their videos. So I'm like, they're really enjoyable. So I went back and started watching all their videos, and
mine I like Respawn, like Machinima Respawn.
Okay.
Like they're pretty, like all of them are based from that, and they've left Machinima now, but Scene Anners, Hutch, like things, and they just throw like a 7-minute, 5-minute, 7-minute little game videos of them like doing funny things, like funny voices or something, or like Sark is like, he's really good at gaming, but like he puts like his bad like crap games on there because like something funny happens.
Sure.
So it's funny. It's fun watching those, but I got Stream and I got Gmod, and I'm like because of that. But then I was like, they're much funnier that I just play with them, and I don't know people on Stream because I just got it. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because one of those for those you gotta have a group of friends to play it, and it's one of those of.
Yeah, I would think it'd be kind of boring if it's just.
Well, because when we were at QuakeCon, there was a group of like 4 or 5 guys that were pretty much at the table next to us, and they're all playing Gmod Murder and stuff like that. It sounded like, man, they're having a shit ton of fun. It's one of those of, you got to do it like in a LAN party environment where you can sit there and you can mock each other, or you have voice communication or something like that. So that's usually like sometimes me and my friends will do when we're playing League of Legends. We'll get on a voice chat and then we'll talk to each other and just kind of goof off and stuff like that and say stupid shit. Because that's why I like LAN parties. That's what I love about LAN parties is that it's like it's like the old like with the older consoles where you used to have to sit next to each other and split screen and stuff like that, and that it's like a little bit like that. So unfortunately nowadays like most computer video games don't really have LAN capabilities anymore. Like you have to connect to the internet. So it's which is nice because it's like now I can play with my friends without having to be sitting next to them. But then it's like you lose out on the being able to go over there and mess up them in the middle of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's always more for me, I find it entertaining to go up to my friend's place in Austin, and then we'll all go over, we'll bring our computers, and we'll get a bunch of alcohol and drink and play video games. I mean, we'll sit there and play very badly on League of Legends while we're drunk. I mean, it's always, that's the best times I have.
Yeah, same. That's like Halo. I rarely play multiplayer when my friends were not there. I'm like, it just seems like just weird. Like, I don't know these people. I want to make a joke because of something stupid I just did, but I don't want to tell a joke to this random person because I don't know them.
Yeah.
That was part of the fun. Yeah, I've only been to one LAN party, really, and it wasn't really a LAN party because we like played Halo for a little bit, where we had like a router and things, and we just had Xbox in one room and Xbox in the other room.
Sure.
And it wasn't really it was just we got together and had that, but we stopped.
Close enough, yeah.
And we stopped and just played Mortal Kombat against each other and just did that. But that's that's awesome.
Sure, gaming parties, yeah. Because for me, it's like one of those, I try to go to some gaming parties, but everybody just wants to play like Marvel vs. Capcom and fighting games, stuff like that. It's like, I'd rather play like computer games. Like, let's play like, Team Fortress 2 or something like it. There's one LAN party I went up to with my friends up in Austin one year. Like, we had, I have a big giant game of Team Fortress 2. I think we had like 32 versus 32 or something. We just had this massive game, and it was fun as hell.
Oh yeah,
because there was just so many people playing all at once. They were just like, oh my god, shit going off everywhere. I mean, it was so much fun. Mm-hmm. So, that was definitely fun because we had the entire LAN party all playing Team Fortress 2 at the same time. It was so fun.
Oh yeah, I bet that'd be
stuff like that. That's what I like. And then because I rarely play Minecraft except for like if I'm at QuakeCon or something like that, where it's like it's like, oh hey, you have a bunch of other people at QuakeCon playing, or you play on like a server or something like that where there's other humans walking around and doing stuff. That's kind of stuff I find fun. If I'm gonna, because for me I can't play Minecraft by myself. It's boring. It's just all right, I built this thing and
that's it.
Now what? Nobody gets to see it. It's like it's not it's not on a server inhabited by other people. It's just me building this thing just cause I like other I want to build something that other people can enjoy and do stuff and maybe probably blow it up or something.
Or build something with some other people. Or explore this cavern or something that you just found or something. Yeah, same thing here. I wanted to play. I played Minecraft for a lot. Built like a little castle, and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool castle. Then I see what like other people do and like just get sad. Yeah. But it's just boring because you build it and like you said.
And you're like, it's just there. You're like, great, all right, now.
I gotta turn around and do something over here, I guess.
Yeah.
And it just got boring. But because I did it at night I would go into my castle and just sleep and just not even have to worry about like any of the creepers and things like that. So it just got boring. I wanted to do like a server with my friend and kind of play around at least with one other person, but never got around to it.
And you get different in schedules, yada yada. You're just like, all right.
Yeah. So Minecraft. It's cool. It's a basic game that you can do a lot of like. You look at kind of the stuff.
Legos on your computer.
Yep. Exactly.
That's pretty much what it is. It's a giant Lego simulator, kind of.
Yeah, and then you can build stuff and
things that blow you up.
Yeah.
But definitely it gets a little bit more complicated when you start adding mods and stuff too. They have all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, you were talking about. Well, we probably talked about it already, like Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a Pokemon cool mod. There's all sorts of stuff. They have like computers in there. They have like things where it's like you can go into space and you build a weird fancy computer thing that accesses your computer on Earth. Like all sorts of crazy crap. You're just like, you're like, man, so much stuff that it's like, like oddly enough, it's like, all these weird machines that make the actual mining easier, and you're like, oh great, now I have this thing that just kind of sucks up all the ores from the world and stuff like that. But you have to be careful what type of ores, because if you do like something common like dirt and stuff like that, then all of a sudden like the entire top of the earth just gets sucked up. So like they have all sorts of cool bombs and stuff like that. Because there was one, what was it, red matter explosion or something like that, I think it was called, and it just made like basically like a black hole, and like if you don't somehow like shove it off into like a part of the world that nobody's inhabiting, like it will suck up like the entire world and stuff like that. Like it just keeps going. You're just like, oh man.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of crazy crap they've added to the game. It's interesting.
Even like the basic stuff that people like the like the mechanical computers that people have made. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like
Well,
crazy what they've made.
Somebody made an actual calculator in Minecraft just using the basic stuff, like just the redstone and stuff like that. I mean, and it's funny because you look at the actual machinery, and the thing is like just gigantic. I mean, it's like, like the size of like a city. I mean, it's just like a huge thing just to do 1 + 1, and it did. I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it's like, geez.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you look at like if you ever look at like YouTube videos of actual mechanical calculators that people have made, like, and it's ridiculously how complex it is, and then you have to go into like Minecraft and make that with just basic switches and circuits, I guess, with like the redstone and then just blocks. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
I'm like, God, you're like a genius, but it's like you wasted it because it's in Minecraft.
Yeah, because I remember people trying to make like elevators and stuff like that. You just see like this huge spiraling thing, and it's just like a bunch of pistons just push you up. I mean, it's just like some like the early ones. I mean, like now they have mods where it's just like a block where it just kind of whoops you up or something like that. I mean, they've gotten a little bit easier since then, but I mean, some of like the old ones were like really these weird complex machines that just kind of basically broke the programming a little bit. Like it just kind of shoved you up, and it just worked.
Worked, yeah. It's like it's crazy what people can do like with like basic materials to do really complex stuff. That's
yeah. Because when you think of it, all it is like with redstone, it's basically it's either on or off, which is basically computer 1 or 0. I mean, that's it. It's either something or nothing. I mean, it's so that's all it is to it. So
really
basically,
just time and like just mechanical knowledge and concepts and things like that, and then you could just build whatever. I don't remember who was talking about it, but it's like Minecraft. Like you build a computer that you can actually play Minecraft on. Like I think they made like an animation of like a person like a mechanical animation of like a person like walking, hitting a tree with like a pickaxe and like getting a block and like putting it down.
Oh man.
So I'm like, I guess that kind of.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's like a 8-bit Minecraft in Minecraft.
Jeez.
So it's pretty crazy. I never got that complex. Like I said, I had a castle that was really blocky and dumb and had like a staircase that went up to a second floor.
Yeah, because for me, it's like I always try to think of these super fancy designs, but they all end up just kind of being square. And there's not enough blocks. I mean, some of the mods, they have like 16 blocks and stuff like that, so you can get really intricate stuff or really fancy stuff. And it's just one of those just for me, I'm just like, It's like, okay, it looks okay. That's close enough.
No one's around really to see this, so.
Let me stick a tree on top of my building so you don't notice the crappy roof. It's like, yeah, there's a tree on top of it. You're like, oh, hey, that's a cool tree on top of your house. You're like, yeah, you don't see the bad roof, so it's like, there you go.
It's not,
It's my orchard on top of my house.
Yeah, I had fun, but it just got boring, like you said. It's just you playing Legos by yourself. That's not really.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem with like why I could never get into like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. Because you're like, yeah, there's a big giant world of millions of people that I don't know who the hell any of these people are. And, it's like, it's hard for me to just go up. It's like for me, it's like I can never quite figure out how to get into an online group. It's like, I guess you go to a clan or something like that and join. But it's like for me, it's like I don't know. I've just never, like if I had a group of friends and stuff like that, it's like, we'll dick around and stuff like that and have fun. It's like, oh, look at that fancy thing on that mountain. Let's see if we can figure out how to glitch our way up there and stuff like that. That kind of crap. Like we do all sorts,
Speaking of that, Skyrim, like a lot of my time has been just like trying to jump up mountains like the whole time instead of going around it.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to go. It's like, man, it's going to take hours to go around that. I'd rather just go over the damn thing.
I spend hours trying to go up this mountain.
All right, let me go at this angle and then go cut back like this, and somehow you're like, hey, magically my horse just got up there somehow.
Yep.
I mean, definitely lots of time jumping on mountains.
Yep, that's.
You're like, I don't want to walk around this stupid thing.
that was Skyrim. I'm sad because I'm not playing it, but yeah.
All right, how long have we been going?
We're going on around 45. Not bad.
I say
for.
Bullshit episode.
BSing.
Of course it gets around to video games, as you can tell. That's what I do a lot.
Yep, I agree. But
probably go ahead, cut it there. Cause I mean, there's, yeah, like I said, not too much going on this week. I mean, Destiny and iPhones.
Yeah, so this next couple episodes are going to be kind of weird because I know some people are having weekends off and things.
Yeah,
like that, so
bear with us, yeah, because like our schedules are, or at least my schedule is changing compared to what it's normally been. So we'll have to figure out some way to work everything out.
Yeah.
So there may be a couple episodes where it's just Jimmy and Patrick, maybe joining in every once in a while. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's one of those of.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's this week's episode of Thinking Outside the Pod. If you go onto thinkingoutsidethepod.com, you'll find all of our social media links. Make sure to
Facebook,
yeah,
Twitter, whatever.
follow, like, and subscribe.